So the wig I'm going to be using today to show you is this Freedom Couture wig that I got. I have an unboxing video and first impressions that you can check out. I'll leave a card up here that you can click. So if you're going to be pulling your wig up into a high bind or ponytail, it's best that your wig doesn't have a adjustable strap in the back, just because what you want is like a 360 lace front, so you want it to be like a natural hairline all the way around, so that when you pull it up in the back, it'll look natural. So preferably if you don't have an adjustable strap, if you have like a full lace wig, that'd be better, but for this example, this is gonna be fine. I'm gonna show you with this. Okay, so the first step is prepping your hair to put under the wig cap. So what I like to do is put 2 braids, and then I'm gonna crisscross them in the back so that my hair is pretty flat all the way around. If you can do like French braids or something like that, just to make your hair really flat. And I'm just going to take this styling gel and just kind of flatten my hair down in the front, just to make sure all the flyaways are tucked down and out of the way. And I'm just using any old hair gel, it doesn't really matter for this. What we're going to use later to stick down the wig is the Got To Be Glued hair gel, and this is like a really intense hair gel, so I don't want to be using this all over my hair because it's going to be a hassle to wash out. This is going to wash out a whole lot easier, so that's why I'm using this to slick down my hair. Okay, so now we're going to put the wig cap on. So I just like to crisscross the braids in the back and then shove it into the wig cap. And then before we go any further, I'm just going to take some rubbing alcohol and clean up my hairline just to make sure there's no excess oil or makeup or anything like that that would interfere with the gel, just to make sure it's clean. Okay, so now what you want to do is take the stocking cap and pull it all the way down over your hairline and over your ears. You want to make sure that all your hair, like your whole hairline, is under the stocking cap, and it's going to help if you pull it over your ears. Okay, so now this is where we take the Got To Be Glued hair gel. I'm using the one in the yellow bottle. I know there's a black one that people like to use as well. This one comes out white but dries clear, and that one comes out clear and dries clear, apparently. I haven't tried that one, so I don't know, but this one works fine for me. So now I'm just going to start applying a thin layer to my hairline with the gel, and I'm using a plastic spoon for this. You can use any tool, really. It helps not to use your fingers because it gets super sticky and messy, and also the oils in your fingertips start to degrade the gel. So if you want a better staying power, it's better not to use your fingers. I have tried using my fingers before, and it honestly works. It's better not to. So just a thin layer. You don't have to put too much on. And I like using the spoon too, because say if I put too much in this area, I can just kind of scoop it away, and it keeps everything really clean. So I recommend using a plastic spoon. I also use a plastic knife as well, which is kind of nice too, to kind of, you know, spread it on like butter and make a really thin layer. So that's a good tool to have as well. So now that I have my first thin layer of gel around my hairline, I'm just going to take my blow dryer on the cool setting and just let this dry. It does take a little bit, so be patient. Okay, so the first layer is dry, so now we're just going to go in with the second layer, and I'm going to use the knife this time. So I'm just applying a thin layer of the gel again. You want the layers to be super thin. It's like putting on nail polish. It's better if you do like a lot of really thin coats versus like one big thick coat. It's going to dry weird. So same thing with this. You want to be like, you want the coats to be really thin. If you put too much, it might not dry clear. It might be kind of white and lumpy. So just be really careful to apply thin layers. And you don't have to go too far down onto your forehead, so just kind of where your hairline is, and then a little bit onto your skin. The first time I did this, I applied way too much. I went like all the way down my forehead because for some reason I thought I was going to be putting my wig down there, but no, you're going to be putting your wig, wherever you're going to be putting your wig, that's where you kind of want it to be. So I'm just going to dry off the second layer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that the second layer is basically dry, we can go ahead and trim off the excess. So just be really careful. Don't cut your skin or your hair. just gently cut away the excess of the stocking cap. Oh, I have like a line on my head because it was sitting on there so tight. And you want this to be as flat as possible, so if it's starting to roll up, just cut away those any little pieces that are starting to roll up. You want it to be as flat to your skin as possible. And then when you're cutting around your ear, I like to just kind of snip up. Hold on. I like to just kind of make one snip up, so then that part can go behind your ear, and then just cut off any excess that's there. So I'm just going to take some foundation and just kind of cover the hairline where my hair is kind of showing through, just to make it look like skin and like scalp. Just because my hair is so blonde, you're going to see through and you're going to see the hair if I don't cover it. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm just going to use my fingers because I can't find my beauty blender right now, but if I had a beauty blender, that would make this a lot easier. So now we're going to put on one more thin layer of the gel, and this time you're not going to let it dry all the way, you're going to leave it a little tacky, and then we're going to put the wig on top of that. So I'm just going to apply a thin layer with the knife. Okay, so now we're going to put the wig on, so just be super careful because the gel is still tacky and it's super sticky, so you don't want to put the wig onto it until you have it just right. So I'm just going to put it on from the back. First, I'm going to slide the combs in. Okay, so just be careful that it doesn't touch. So I should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but I actually cut off the elastic band that came with the wig, and I cut around my ear so this whole hairline fits my hairline exactly. So I know if I stick this side down that it's going to match and the other side is going to line up and stick down as well. So you want to make sure that you have everything measured perfectly before you get to this step. And I just use some bobby pins just to kind of pin the hair away a little bit while I'm doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from one side of my face and then stick it down and go along until the other side. And because I already measured it, I know it's going to even out. One time I did it where I like stuck both ends first, and then I like worked my way into the middle, and there was like an air bubble. So don't do that. I would recommend starting from one side and working your way over. And I'm going to use, if you have like a rat tail comb or something, I'm just literally going to use this brush just to push it down. Just so you don't use your fingers because the oils on your fingers will interfere with the gel. So I'm going to use a tool like this, or you can use your plastic knife if it's clean, and push the lace onto the tacky gel. So I'm just kind of pushing it down like that. And see what I mean? Like I still brought the glue a little too far down my forehead. You really don't need to bring it down all that much. So I'm just going to clean that up after. So now we just need to let the gel completely dry, and then we can start pulling our hair back. So I know some people like to take a scarf and wrap it around their hairline just to put some pressure on to make sure that everything dries flat. Sometimes I take a yoga strap because I don't really have a scarf. So I'll just literally take my strap and tie it around my head like this. And then just let it sit for like 10 minutes or something just to make sure everything dries really flat and perfect. So I'm going to let this dry and I'll be right back. Okay, so the gel has dried, so I kind of straightened my hair a little bit. And honestly, this is my favorite method to put on wigs because like look how natural that looks, right? And if you do this method, you can actually wear the wig for a couple of days straight. Like I've worn this wig 3 days straight with this gel method. You can literally just go to sleep with the wig and wake up and wear it like it's your hair. So now let's tie it up into a high bun. So honestly, you can just kind of tie it up like you would your normal hair at this point, just because it does look so natural. So I'm just gonna brush it up, and so I'm just gonna brush it up into a high pony first. And it kind of helps if you leave like a little bit of baby hairs. It helps make it look more natural. Okay, so there's my high pony. I feel like it's kind of crooked, but you got the idea. And of course you can put it wherever you want, like you can put it higher, you can put it lower. You guys kind of get the idea at this point. So I'm going to use one of these sock bun things. And because the hair is short, I'm just going to kind of wrap it around like this and bobby pin it as I go. Almost done. Here's the last bobby pin. Alright, okay. So there we go. Here is a wig and a high bun. So you can kind of see the back here. So now you kind of see what I was talking about. You need like a full 360 lace frontal. So it would be like this, and you would do it along the nape of your neck as well. So it looks like, how it looks like here is growing out of your head, it would be growing out of your head over here. But because it's not, that's how it kind of looks like, which is okay. I mean, it is what it is. It kind of looks a little weird from the back, but from the front,